Sorry, Rolf Winkler from the Wall Street Journal. I wanted to ask you about trust. And I wonder if, I guess I'll say it this way. With Google, I think a lot of people inherently, they're not worried about sharing information with Google. We get better search results. People are fired up about Google Now, giving us those nifty cards.
Well, maybe you. I'm worried.
Maybe.
And I'm married to someone from Google, and I'm worried about them. But go ahead.
Whereas with Facebook, one thing we didn't talk about today was Snapchat and its huge growth. And the very idea of those pictures disappearing seems like a direct reflection of mistrust in sharing. It's particularly sharing stuff on Facebook because we don't want it to follow us around for the rest of our lives. So my question for you is, do you view trust as a problem for Facebook? If not, why not? If so, how do you fix it?
Yeah. I would say trust is one of the most important things we have to get right. And when the times are, if we get it wrong, it's a huge problem. If we get it right, it's a huge opportunity because it's very much the cornerstone of our relationship with users. If you don't trust that Facebook will share your picture, if I take a picture, I want to share it with one person, it needs to share it with one person. If I want to share it with the whole world, it's fine to do that, but you have to trust that we're going to do that. I think the most important thing we work on in terms of trust is being transparent and helping people understand how the product works. So one of the, we've had a lot of conversations on this stage and others about trust. And one of the things that Facebook has done really well over the years is give people a lot of ability to do many different things, but it wasn't really easy to understand. It was too complicated, right? It was like you went to your privacy page and there were 40 different icons. And because it's so complicated, you don't feel that sense of trust. And we've moved to much more visual. We've moved to right in the composer. You can see where you're sharing and with who. And our goal is, as we roll out each product, as we do everything we do, to be very, very careful to explain to people directly what is doing.
Will you do more of that? Just because I know with
Always.
Like activity log and stuff, you still put barriers in the way because when we want to take photos down after they show up in graph search, it's not really very easy. And because you don't want us to take content down because that makes your service, that's problematic for your ad model.
So I'm glad you said that because that's a huge misperception. It is not true that the more you share publicly, by getting you to share more things publicly, we do better in ads at all. At all. That's not the business model because the information you've shared with us, we don't need you to share with anyone else. But in terms of trust, your underlying question is an important one. We take it really seriously. We have to reiterate it with every product we build. We have to make sure people understand how they're sharing. And the best way to do that is, we think, give people those tools right at the point where they're sharing.
But what about temporary? What do you think about temporary?
I think temporary is obviously important. And
so are you going to
Snapchat's
do temporary? Are you going to do that?
No product announcements. We're not, but.
Do you think it's an important part of addition to the whole trust area to say, here's another option. This thing can be temporary.
Or is Tim Cook going to do it? You can answer for him.
I think all of these methods of social sharing are exploding. Messaging exploding, pictures exploding, video exploding, sharing exploding. I think we're going to see lots of iterations. I think we'll be up on the stage next year talking about something we haven't seen yet. So this is the social world we expected. We think we're the leaders of that. It is not our job or even possible for us to do everything. We're not going to do everything, but we're going to do what we do really well and continue.
Okay, I know you're not going to do everything. I understood that. Are you going to make
temporary?
No product announcements.
Status and pictures.
No product announcements, but I have money with a couple friends here on how many times you try to get me to make a product announcement, so this is useful.
In any case, let me just